guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Cheney. This week I'm going to be teaching you guys about the difference between your sun, moon and rising signs. First things first, the common misconception that many people have is that they only have one sign, and most of them refer to it as a star sign. Ever read your horoscope and been like, that is so not me, like what the f? That's because you kind of don't just have one sign, you have more than one. The three most important ones to kind of consider when assessing anything astrological like a horoscope is that you have a sun, moon and a rising sign. Now just to clarify, the sun sign is what you may know as your star sign. So you can call it a star sign, but it's actually a sun sign, just so there's no confusion here. So if you're ever going to read a horoscope or you're ever going to watch a card reading for a specific sign, just remember that you should probably watch all three signs that relate to your sun, moon and rising, because they will each apply to you. Now, to explain what the difference between all of them are. So the most popular one, the sun sign, star sign, this is the core you. This is you at your center. Your sun sign is the way that you approach life, and it's just generally your overall nature. It tends to influence the way that you approach skill development, career, competition. It's what drives you. It will influence what you tend to be more interested in, the way that you go about doing these things. This is a central you. The second part of you, or the second sign that you need to be aware of, is your moon sign. Now, to calculate all of these signs, you will need to have a natal chart done, which means you will need to know your place and time of birth exactly. You can pretty much find this out online if you Google it. I'm pretty sure Astro Cafe is what I use all the time, and it actually gives you really in-depth explanations to what everything means and what this conjunct that means, etc. If you really want to be an astrological nerd, then go for it. Astro Cafe is yours. But if you just want to know the basics, use Astro Cafe, and they will also tell you your sun, moon and rising sign. So back to your moon sign, this is like your deep inner self. This is the self that you only really show to people that are really close to you. It's like your most intimate self. It's the inner you. This tends to be the way that you process your emotions, how you emotionally react to things, the way that you even may approach romance, the way that you are romantically. For example, if you have a moon sign that is a water sign, so a Pisces, Cancer or a Scorpio, you're probably very emotional, you're very deep, you're very intuitive, and the moon sign, also relates to your subconscious. So if you have a water moon sign, you tend to be very mysterious, the inner you is guarded, you might not show much of it. Or for example, if you have a fire sign in your moon, like a Leo for example, you might be very open about the inner you. You might, you don't really have any secrets. You're very comfortable with the way that you are inside, and you just let that out to be the world. So your moon sign is your inner sign, probably your most concealed self. And then finally we have your rising sign, and this is what I call your outer self. It's the way that most people perceive you. It tends to be the sign that you not least identify with, but it's harder for you to know your outer self. For example, if you have a rising sign and a moon sign that are conflicting, you might be what I call an extrovert introvert, which is like myself. So if you, for example, have a moon sign and a rising sign that are contradicting, people may see you completely differently to the way that you see yourself, because they only see that outer version of you, whereas you know how you feel inside, you know your inner self, but you don't recognize your outer self as much. So having a contradicting aspect can be why some people see you very differently to the way that you see yourself. So knowing these three bits of information, I know I haven't gone massively in depth, but they're kind of the most that you need to know. Sun sign is you at your core self, your instinctive reactions, the way that you respond to things. Moon sign is how you feel on the inside, the way that you internally process things, the way you think about things, emotional, subconscious, domination. And rising sign is how everyone else perceives you, your surface self, basically you on the outer layer. So guys, I hope this helped you. As I said, if you want to figure out what your sun, moon and rising sign is, amongst other things, do have a look at Astro Cafe. But to be honest, you can use any website that calculates it for you. You just need to put your specific time of birth and your place of birth and it will tell you where it is. It's pretty awesome. So go have a look, and remember, whenever you're getting a reading done, or if you're watching a reading on YouTube about Scorpios or Capricorns or Leos or whatever your sign is, remember to watch your sun, moon and rising sign, because they will all be relevant to you. And sometimes you might find you're expressing one sign more than the other. That's fine. We are multi-dimensional beings. We are more than just one sign. So next time you read a horoscope, bear that in mind if it doesn't resonate. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more things like this, especially astrologically, please let me know. Leave me a comment in the section below for any suggestions that you have. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next week.